So here's what I like about YouTube and building the whole reciprocity project, actually having these conversations with you. It's not that, it's not about the sort of fame, being like a YouTuber or anything like that. That's not the really cool thing. But what the cool thing is the group of people that that YouTube somehow mysteriously finds that are good people, that are, solidly interested in doing good things in this world at the same time as doing the hard things that actually does pan out in the long run. And I think that is something that's wonderful, that, obviously there is a bigger follower count of some of the people that are out there that are sort of teaching quick win stuff and all of that kind of stuff. But I love the fact that there's a group of people out there that understands what it takes and how challenging it actually is to do good things in this world, and that you have to repeatedly get up and get going and do that every day. I think that's pretty darn awesome that there is a group of people that sort of self-identify with the whole reciprocity project, that, man, things are really tough and they don't come easy, but once you do them, it's pretty awesome when it all kind of comes together. And it requires a tremendous amount of hard work and dedication, and you have a lot of people that don't believe in you. You have a lot of people where you just have to be like, whatever, screw you. There is just a lot that you just have to keep going. And I think it's wonderful that you're all following this and part of the whole reciprocity project. That you could see what I'm doing and what we're doing as we're doing it and be part of it. So, so I want to talk about something, right? So the programming on the reciprocity platform, right? People sort of have this view, and it's taught that, you just do a couple of commands and then all of a sudden you got this website and everything is hunky-dory and you're making millions. It does not work like that. In fact, I was probably like a little bit duped on all of that kind of stuff. That's partly the reason why I'm speaking out against it, because it's silly. So it takes an unbelievable amount of dedication. So there is a team of developers in India working on the reciprocity project pretty near full time and on the platform, and they've been doing that every day for years now, and it still breaks, it still falls apart, and it's a slow process. And you can see that not too much actually happens on a day-to-day. That's because they're programming, they're debugging things, they're working on it to get to the point where there's actually something that's presentable. Now, if you go on it now, there are a few new features. For example, you can download reports, which we didn't have before, the sort of downloadable stuff. But, all of that stuff takes time. Even one little tiny button is going to take you an unbelievable amount of time because you have to program all of the instructions behind it. So what I want to come back to is, just coming back to the fact that, hey man, all this stuff just takes an unbelievable amount of time. Anything that's real, that's true in this world, that is quality, right? Like anything from education to losing weight to living a healthy lifestyle to doing anything, you name it. It's unbelievable amounts of work. And it's just repeatedly doing it over and over and over again. When you're doing it in the moment, you completely lose faith in yourself. You completely do. But you don't even do it because that you've lost faith in yourself. You do it because it's like, what the hell else do I do? You do it just because it's like you have no other alternative at that moment, and you just keep going with it. And you have pushed through that stuff. You push through the moments where it doesn't feel good, and you get to the other side and you look back and you say, wait a minute, I'm actually kind of happy that I did this. It wasn't fun. It wasn't easy, but I'm happy that I did this. So it's like the analogy is like when you're, training for a race or just training in general, anything, right? So I swim. That's a thing that I've been doing. And I've done other things like biking and, running and things like that, just training. And the day-to-day is really sucky. But when you look back after you've done it for 4 months, you look back and you're like, wait a minute, I can actually do this a little better than what I could 4 months ago. I'm talking months, right? Months and months and months. And that's actually a quick cycle thing to sort of gain the potential of being pretty athletic. You could be pretty athletic within a couple of years from completely sedentary. So that's a pretty quick cycle, right? But there's lots of things that don't take that take even longer. Pharmaceutical development takes an unbelievable long time. And you get to the end, often it's like, that didn't work. So after a decade, sometimes 2 decades, it just doesn't work at the end. And you have to, throughout the process, you have to believe in yourself, but don't believe in yourself, and then tell you the rest of the world, screw you, and go through all of that stuff. But you do it anyways, right? The reason why you do it anyways is because who knew otherwise? If you didn't try to go and pursue that particular thing, you would never know if there wasn't or was an opportunity there. And there's something that's cool that also happens, because I study learning from failure a lot, and I'm a big fan of it. So you might do this pharmaceutical drug thing, right? And you've done it for 10 years or 20 years. But what you don't realize is, that one thing that you're focused on is a failure, but you develop this deep understanding of all these other things, and you can take a step back and go into those other things, and those things are the things that actually clicks. So for example, quick example, in a pharmaceutical setting, you might be trying to develop this drug, and it's taken 20 years, and it flops at the end. It's a complete bust. You spent $1 billion on it, which is not an unrealistic number. You spent $1 billion on it, and it's a complete bust. Well, along the way, you might have had to have developed a new medical technology that allows you to synthesize this drug. And then you look back and you're like, wait a minute, this medical technology was the thing that was actually the thing that was cool, that was going to provide all of the opportunities. So instead of pursuing the pharmaceutical at the end when it was a bust, you realize that it was the medical technology that was the key. And so you have to just pursue these things, and knowing it's going to be a complete bust, knowing that, hey, this could be a giant disaster, but I'm going to pursue these things anyways. And you step up and you get going, and you just keep working at it no matter what, despite what everybody else is saying. And you keep doing that over and over and over again. So that's it. That's the moral of the story. I'm glad that there is great people out there that understand that these things are hard. Much of anything requires a lot of dedication. Anything that's real requires a lot of dedication. You just keep doing it every day. You get after it every single day. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.